Hello, and welcome to the channel. Another one of those random gameplays of me playing American Truck Simulator. This one's a little bit bizarre because it took me almost an hour to get working. So that Logitech G29 that I used, the steering wheel, something I wanted to share with you. This is almost like a gaming vlog, if you will. It wasn't working. It kept saying that my steering wheel wasn't connected, it wasn't recognizing it, it couldn't find it. And I was getting really angry. By the way, here's where we are on the map. Doing a little small drive there to San Francisco from Bakersfield, California. So I finally decided to load up the G-Hub app because you actually don't need the app running in the background. But for whatever reason, there was an update, and that caused a glitch. It's almost like it knew in the background that there was an update, if that makes any sense. And so it wouldn't work properly until I loaded it up. Then I rebooted my computer, did all that stuff. Loaded up American Truck Simulator. I was going to stream it. It took me almost like an hour. And it wouldn't work again. I was like, what the hell is going on? So it's like, don't tell me I gotta load the G-Hub again, or the update didn't work. So I decided to go and do that. And it works. Right now as we speak, I alt-tabbed out. And I got rid of that shit, and I exited the G-Hub. You see, I'm having problems with my computer now that it's really starting to show its age. I could play all these games at 60 frames, maximum graphics, Red Dead Redemption 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all this kind of stuff. Call of Duty, no problem. But streaming at 60, having the web browser open, I can't seem to do it. That's why I've got to stream at 30 frames, at least for now, until I get things kind of sorted out there. Kind of had a bad day, to be honest, because of this. I really enjoy streaming and doing the random casual gameplays, even though they do terrible on my channel. And I'm also a little, not impressed with my performance. Since I've been monetized on YouTube which has been about a year and a half, I have had the worst month financially in terms of views, which goes hand in hand, obviously. The more views, the more money. So I'm only at about half. I know that February still has about another week or so, but given the prediction, I'm only at about half of where I'm normally at on average. So that kind of naturally really sucks. Because I kind of count on that. And I know you're not supposed to, because YouTube is kind of like real estate, and nothing is concrete and for sure. But when you're getting paid every single month, and the amount is always the same, or it goes up a little bit, it goes up a little bit, and it jumps a lot, and it stays there steady for a whole 7 or 8 months, and then all of a sudden, kabam! You're barely at 50% of what you normally make. Yeah, it's not a lot of fun, especially now that I'm just starting to continuously have problems with my computer. It's very aggravating. Is there some light at the end of the tunnel? Perhaps. I just know that I'm driving this international Lodestar, I believe it is. I'm not too good with trucks, and I'm rolling at 160 kilometers an hour. I do have a little bit of a shipment there with me, and I don't think the other trucks I drive can go this fast with this big of a load. That's what she said. But anyways, I wanted to drive this truck because it seems to be one of the least popular ones. And yes, I'm kind of driving like a maniac. So I kind of wanted to just get that off my chest. It's almost like I'm venting right now. But I am having fun in this moment, even though I'm not like fully relaxed. I'm starting to get there a little bit. Like I said, this game, when things do work well, it does wonders for me. I know this is not how you're supposed to drive, but for the sake of just having fun, like I said, Yeah, I had just hit 160 kilometers an hour. The sun's going to set soon here, I believe. So yeah, it's just one of those things, again, that kind of proves my point, at least from my personal experience throughout the years. You know, that we're always told PC's the master race, but man, the amount of bullshit I've experienced with computers in my life, you know, versus consoles, and I've had both for over, you know, about a third of a century. Yeah, computers can do more. These kinds of games, again, you're not going to get a game of this caliber on the console. I mean, you can get some good games. I'm just saying, isn't it funny that all my favorite games are almost all, like, exclusively on the computer? Want to make sure we don't clip our trailer. You know, 60 frames and all that has been a thing for how long? I'm still playing, well, not anymore, but I was playing Watch Dogs Legion, the PS5 version on my PS5, still 30 frames a second. It's 2021. Do you know how many, well, maybe not decades, but man, 60 frames is old at 1080p. Come on now, work with me. It's some unreal BS. I mean, most of the stuff is 60 frames, but good Lord Almighty. You know, the PC has some advantages for sure. However, with that comes a lot more bullshit. Like your game saves, they never get placed in the same folder. Some of them are in your C, user, app data, your username, and all this different stuff. And sometimes they're in my saves. Why can't the game save just go inside the folder where the game is installed? Like, for real? Things like that drive me crazy because I keep track of my game saves. If I have to format, a crash happens, you know, your computer does a lot more than just play games, right? You can browse the internet, you can record, I play my guitar through my computer. You know, it's not just for gaming. It's a multi-versatile piece of equipment. And with that comes the extra BS with it. So I like to keep track of my saves, and I've often forgotten about a save, and then it, you know, the Steam cloud or whatever doesn't work, and I lose a couple of 100 hours of gameplay in a game. There's absolutely nothing fun about that, and I've just never had that happen on a console. Ever. I've had some bullshit with consoles, like I had a PS4 Pro just die on me. It was just like, it just shat on me. And I had to replace it. It barely lasted a year and a half. But I mean, I've owned every PlayStation machine since the very first one, and that was the first time that happened. We won't get into how many Xboxes I've been through, how many controllers and batteries I've been through with the Xbox, which is why I shit on Xbox. I don't shit on the players that play Xbox. Hey man, play what you like and what works for you. I never understood the console wars. You know, but this is different though. This is like when I'm venting and I say, hey man, here's why I don't like Xbox. I have like a good story to back it up, you know? It doesn't look good when you're getting 10 times more problems with Xbox than PlayStation. Naturally, you can see from my point of view, from my personal experience, why I would be biased in leaning towards PlayStation. Right? Anyhow, we're almost done here. I don't know how long I've been recording for. It's almost nighttime. I don't really like driving at night in the game. Simply because you don't see as much. I like it when it's raining. You can see some clouds and some formation. You know, it really looks nice. I don't even like a clear sky. It looks almost fake. This is like nice. You can see the clouds. Any which way. It all ended well, I suppose you could say, until I almost went bumper to bumper with another car. Thankfully, nobody came. Oh, and I did lose my save for my truck simulator as well, which is why I had to cheat, because I had lost all those miles I had driven, all those levels I had gone up legitimately on my own. A bit frustrated about that, because I wanted to keep everything just that, like, legit, you know what I mean? I didn't want to have to play around with a trainer and give myself all this XP. But I just was not able to go back. Oh, I think it was like 30 levels. So I cheated myself to like 120, 125, and I've just been grinding. Now I'm almost 132. Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad. It's not a multiplayer game. It's not to fool anybody. So these are the current jobs that we have from this site. Nothing there I really want to take. But to be honest, I might just end it here. I might just do that. Just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a quick stream. I also am thinking of doing some sound effects.
You have failed me for the last time.
You see what I'm saying? Because I'm starting to use one of these now instead of a second screen. I no longer use a second screen. I use the Elgato Stream Deck mobile app. And it allows you to link some MP3 files or WAV files, and that's what you just heard. See, as soon as I tap it,
You have failed me for the last time.
it plays that. It plays whatever I want. Anyhow, the point is the volume isn't always that loud. And I usually have my desktop audio at like minus 10 decibels, and then that makes it so that I don't have to turn the game down as low. Like that matters. But I find those effects are too low, so I've brought back up my volume to 0%. Or 0 decibel, like the default. So that the sound effects would be louder. But I didn't lower the game master volume to compensate for that. Therefore, this is now probably a little bit louder. And that's what's going to be interesting to see, because I did play a clip for myself. And it wasn't overly... Sorry, bear with me here. What the hell? There we go. I was like, what is going on? Felt like my truck didn't want to come on there. So if I stop this, push the big... Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, we're good. I just wanted to make sure. Man, I tell you, when you don't have cargo, can you ever feel it? I mean, it is something else. Speaking of bullshit with computers, so because I'm using the wireless mobile app for my streaming thing, my whole screen just went blank and it said that I had no internet. It probably didn't affect the recording, it just meant that if I wanted to end it like right now, I would have had 0 interaction capability. But I will play around for just a moment. Let's take a look at our map and see if there's just somewhere... Let's just start heading towards, you know, Seattle kind of thing. You know, like in this neck of the woods. Just a little bit. Just so I have a little bit of a destination. As you can tell as well, I slept. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. We've got some rain, thunder, and lightning. I love it. And that's the whole point of the simulator. Obviously, I don't have a trailer. But just how much faster the truck is, how it handles. I'm just saying, like, it's just awesome. I just love this game. It really makes me happy. I've tried a few other games with the steering wheel. It feels a bit sloppy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Dirt works fine, but Dirt's just hard to play to begin with. I tried Forza Horizon 4, I just can't seem to get a good setting. I've tried a few other games I can't think of off the top of my head. Need for Speed's not too bad. Need for Speed Heat there. I mean, it's not terrible. It's really good. But I think it's because they're arcadey. There's just something a little sloppy or loose about the handling, and I find like it takes a while to get used to. Whereas this feels more responsive, if that's the word, like tight. Like it feels like real time. Like when I move my steering wheel, and I got the blue ring at the top of my steering wheel there for the Logitech G29, and I'm watching the notches in my steering wheel virtually in the game. I mean, it lines up 100%. Like both wheels, you know, like I got a marker, and in my vision, I could see them moving. There's no lag or nothing. And it just feels like other games that are arcade-like are a little bit more wavy or something. I don't know what the terminology is. And I know that settings can make a huge difference. Like, I mean, monstrous difference. But out of the box, I didn't have to do much to this game at all. 15-hour drive, we're definitely not doing the whole thing. Like, not even close. Just wanted to cruise at 100 miles an hour. Through the rain. Oh god, this game is just magical. I sometimes don't know what I'd do without this game. It just allows me to vent. I've been having some problems, like I said, with my YouTube channel this month, and sometimes just running out of creative things to do for YouTube. You know, the videos that do the best on my channel, I've talked about this before, are things that can help people. This isn't going to help your game. I'm not teaching you anything. Like, there's no tutorial going on. This is just like rambling aimlessly all over the place. But if there's like a glitch in a video game and I can teach you how to make a lot of money, you know, that can benefit you, right? Those are the types of videos that get the most views, that make me the big bucks. But if there's no glitches or there's no secret, I can't just make something up. That's why YouTubers like the Rad Brad have it made. They don't have to find anything. They don't got to talk about updates for video games that are coming out. They just got to play the game. They don't even have to show their face. And they're like, all right, guys, let's do this. Bam, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 million views. It's like, holy hot tamale. It's insane. Other people like Jor Raptor, oh man, does he get crazy views on his videos. But I think he's got a team of people, because he's just all over the place, eh? Like, he can... Here's where you get this weapon. Here's where you get that chest. Like, for, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, he's almost like power picks. Every little nook and cranny's got, like, 400 videos on the game. Meanwhile, I was doing the armor and the weapons for a while, and then I gave up. I couldn't keep up with it. There's only 24 hours in a day. By the time I was halfway through the game, you know, doing all the videos and the tutorials, how do you get here, how do you unlock that? What do you think ended up happening? The game was 3 weeks old. I was making videos on things that people had already talked about almost a month ago. So the hype on it severely dies out. You'll still get some residual views from other people that buy the game in the future on sale and all that. But it's just not the same. Anyhow. So that's like that thing where that's a lot more stressful, right? Whereas when you're just playing like I'm doing right now, I'm not teaching you nothing, I'm not trying to do anything fancy, I'm not trying to be funny, driving into incoming traffic, running people over, and you have the power, the ability to pull in that amount of views in the millions at a time. That is some absolute madness. Just like the weather effects and how nice the sky looks. Gorgeous! And just like in the title, This is 1.39. This is not even the beta. There's no mods. The only mod I have is a steering wheel and the mirrors. Nicely tucked into the corner instead of there being like a 2-inch gap at the top and on each side. I don't really consider that modding the game in terms of physics or behavior or graphics. This is stock. And it just feels so good just having that wheel stomping on the gas pedal. I seriously could do this forever. And that's why, with a game like this that's so laid back, you know, it's a niche, just kind of like Asmongold, how he's insanely successful with just playing World of Warcraft. I find that game to be too much of a time sink, unfortunately, for the $20 a month. I feel like I wouldn't be able to play all these other games I want to play. Like, do this for a bit, do Hitman for a bit. This you can kind of play forever. It's dynamic like a sports game. No two matches are the same, right? If you keep replaying, you know, The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption, yeah, for the most part, it's dynamic. You can approach it from a different way. But it's not nearly as sandboxy, if you know what I mean, as like a Hitman 3 kind of game or a sports game or this game. Maybe I won't drive down the same road twice, you know? Or maybe I will, but I'll be in a different truck, hauling different cargo. The weather's different, time of day, right? And that's what makes this, like, in my opinion, a great catch for a streamer or someone that wants to do like a Let's Play series. I think this is a wonderful game to do that. There are people in real life that vlog when they're driving. Well, that's what I'm doing. Minus the risk of when I'm looking at the camera to make that eye contact. Hey, how's it going? And then you just ram into a truck. You know, kind of like that. I know you weren't expecting it, but I also hit a little button. And oops. I disabled the damage. Which is why when I hit it, it said 0 damage. I did that near the end of the stream. I left them in the wind there. Or in the dust or whatever. Now I forget what I was saying. What I will say is the following. This is a good spot, I think, to save the game. And I think I'm just going to end it here. I kind of started off a little angry. I've calmed down as time went on. Kind of like in real life when I used to have a car. And I used to be really angry. I know they say don't drive when you're emotional. But I would go for a drive. I would take a moment. Because I suffer from like anxiety and anger problems and all that. And I would just take a deep breath or two and go. And I would wait. And I would maybe put on a little music. Nothing too crazy. Something like classical or, you know, New Kids on the Block. I'm just kidding. It was Backstreet Boys. And after that, once I was calm and I was all like, yeah, baby, I would just go for a drive, and it was like a natural Ativan. Not so much with all the crazy drivers, but I would pick roads where there wasn't a lot of traffic, and it was just an escape, you know? Driving is one of my favorite things in the world, especially trucks. I'm into this stuff here. I'm like a trucker at heart, you know, and I've driven one of these trucks before without cargo in a parking lot at 20 kilometers an hour, but that's not the point. It's that I tried it. I love pickup trucks, you know, like I'm that kind of guy. I'm no longer like a Mustang Camaro kind of guy. Roads are too shitty to really enjoy those kinds of cars. I'd rather something more, you know, pickup truck, even SUV. And I don't really care about the brand, to be honest. A Ford F-150, a Chevy Silverado 1500, a Dodge Ram. I don't discriminate. If it's a nice pickup truck, I think they call it a king cab, where you got like the 4 doors, but I like the short box because it's not like I'm hauling anything really. But yeah. Anyhow, as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel with the algorithm and making it more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up on the internet. That's what those thumbs up do. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll make sure the next time you play the game, that truck that you were in gets bonked just like I bonked that truck. And what makes it funny is you're incapacitated forever. You can't call another truck. There's no taxi service. You can't get a tow truck. You got to uninstall the game. You got to rebuy it, reinstall, start anew completely. But if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, maybe we can work something out. And if not, well, that's on you. As for the rest of you, thanks for stopping by. Take care, and maybe I shall see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.